Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today it is a big one, Nürburgring Nordschleife. We're going to jump right into the qualifying, jumping back into the McLaren 650S. You have to go slow to get out of this pit, real slow. And just moving around the first corner and then straight onto the power as we jump forward towards my flying lap. Crossing the line and onto the brakes so I can get around the first corner, back onto the power, kissing the apex of the second corner. I'm now going to speed up the video so you get to see the whole lap. As my first mistake comes up and I just go sliding and just go off the track, and I jump back on under the wave of blue flags, but braking a little bit to the next corner, back onto the power. And now mistake number two. I try to power around this next corner, but I end up just bouncing off the barrier a little bit, sliding into the grass. Do manage to get back onto the track as the Mercedes decides to go for a beach holiday, heading under the bridge. Honestly, I could never get this corner right. I was always just overshooting it. Did you think that I had finished hitting the barrier? Well, you was wrong. Far too fast around that corner, understeered right into the wall. As a Viper passes me, but I managed to get back onto the track. You can see through this next sector, he just seems to start pulling away. Now this track is absolutely savage. You can see I just cut the corner just a little bit, but it causes me to spin right into the wall, end up facing the wrong way. Thankfully I managed to spin myself back onto the track, but once again under the dreaded blue flags. I'm coming into the next corner just a little bit wide as I slide and hit the cone, and ultimately end up in the barrier yet again as the Mercedes just takes me over. Blue flags waved once again, but I managed to catch up and they stopped being waved. Speeding back up through the lap again. As you can see, I'm just chasing this Mercedes down. Not getting too far ahead. Up until, unfortunately for him, he does go wide here into the gravel pit, allowing me to pass. As you can see, this sector is going a lot better than the first few. As I head down the back straight, just having my foot absolutely ploughed into the floor. Just heading up over the hill, managing to hit around 160 miles an hour as we start braking for the final sectors of the corners. And around the final corner, heading back just across the line to set my time of 8 minutes 12.6 seconds, placing me in 17th place on the grid. Not the best performance I've ever had, but it'll have to do for now. As we now move across over to the race. Now this is a 3-lap race with tyre wear and fuel use, so to get through this without pitting each lap, I will need to do some fuel saving. As I'm waiting for the lights to go out, I do move over to a leaner fuel so I can start that fuel saving process. Coming off the line, as I pass the first car on the right, move over to pass a car on the left, being able to take up 2 places before even coming onto the start of the first lap. As I brake for the first corner, turn in, and now you're going to see that I am going slower than the other cars. This is because I'm running a leaner fuel mix. It does mean that it will last longer, but it reduces the power output. And there are yellow flags. As you can see, the car on the right has actually gone off, allowing me to move up to 14th place. Now moving over to the TV camera, as you can see the Dodge just overtake me, moving me down to 15th place. You can just see how tight this track is as we're coming down this part. As I move across onto the grass, I managed to get onto the track though. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the Toyota ahead, who spins into the barrier, allowing me to overtake. I do nearly hit the Dodge in front, but thankfully we managed to power away under the bridge. As we now fast forward through this next section. And you can see the car ahead just goes into the grass, allowing me to move up to 13th place. Slowing back down to normal speed and swapping over to the TV cameras. Coming around this next set of corners, you can just see the car behind have a little trip to the grass and spin into the barrier behind. I've been there, buddy. And now just running the car on full power, trying to catch up to the pack ahead. Now skipping ahead to the back straight of the first lap, I'm still trying to save a bit of fuel so I can run a second lap without having to pit. Just turning into the next corner, dropping the car down into 6th gear, just before braking a little bit for the next corner. And making it around that final section. As you can see, the Nissan's getting very close on my tail, braking for the final corner. As we cross the line to start the second lap, he darts in on the inside, overtaking me, pushing me down to 12th place. and you can see the Mercedes behind, who's on a fresh set of tyres, just gaining on me, sitting in the tow and being able to just take me on this next corner with ease. Managing to move up to 12th place thanks to that guy's beach holiday. Currently running in 11th place, and you can see the BMW behind, just trying to find any way to get around, darting around, putting a lot of pressure on the back of me. And unfortunately with this pressure, I do slide, I buckle, hit the barrier, I end up facing the wrong way and allow the two cars to pass me, moving me down to 13th place. Thankfully, I do manage to get onto the track relatively quickly and back into the race. Skipping ahead through the lap, and you can see I'm actually trying to straighten my back out, which causes me to overshoot the corner, sliding into the barrier. Thankfully it wasn't too much of a big hit, and it allows me to get back onto the track relatively quickly and not lose any places, thankfully. Skipping ahead towards the end of the lap, and at this point I really need to pit. I'm almost out of fuel. Just coasting around the last few corners as I turn into the pit lane, currently in 13th place, so I can put on a fresh set of boots and fill up the tank to make it to the end of the race. And leaving the pit lane only by dropping one place, so down in 14th position. But this is now a power lap. Everything's shooting on full. I've got fresh boots on the car. I'm going to see what I can do. Skipping ahead to the final part of the race, where I'm actually gaining on the car ahead. You can actually see him just in the distance there. I managed to take him on the outside. But you can also see there's only around 35 seconds left in the session. And unfortunately, I was not able to actually finish the lap in time for the session to end, but I was able to do enough to complete the race in 13th position. But honestly, that was a bit of a nightmare to drive. Not the best result, but not the worst either. I moved up 4 positions. But with that, we are going to finish the video. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing and let me know what you thought in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.